Okay, so anyway. Ignore that blue picture. Wait, I'm here. Why am I not going? Why am I not here? I am here. Ignore that blue picture. Wait, I'm here. Why am I not going? Why am I not here? Okay, I am here. I am here. Okay. There we go. There we go. Hi, how are you guys? Oh my gosh. I did so much work outside today, and then I just finally sat down, like, I don't know, like a half hour ago, and I just felt like a brick. I was like, oh my gosh, I should not have sat down. So I just feel like my mind is gone blank, my body's up, but the sun set, so now I feel a little bit better. So there are some things we got to talk about, catch up on, that I was not able to address last week because I never went live. It was kind of crazy. Mercury went direct today. Yay! That is good news because it's been kind of crazy. And like I always say, when Mercury is retrograde, it's kind of like everything that's happening isn't true. They get flushed out and they get... it's like they're readily remade. It's like it's not the truth anymore. So let me say hello to you. My goodness, Marie Sutton. Thank you so much for your donation. I'm going to grab a card for you. Oh, look at that on the bottom. Actually, I'm thinking about something. Okay. Oh, you know what I was thinking? I was like, I want a card that represents... Whoops. Timer's going off. It's time to go live, you guys. My snooze button. So I was thinking about a card that I wanted to draw that represented Marie and the best of America. And look at, she's got the Queen of Cups. That's my card for the United States of America. I love that. Let me get some more lighting over here because I've got this weird shadow. I don't know if it's going to work. Please. Please. Okay. Well, that is good enough. Thank you. Let me say hello, you guys. Karen Louise, Lionsgate was wild this year. Yes, it was kind of crazy, and it is like everything. There's a battle going on with that. Thank you, Karen. Hi, Carolyn. It's good. Yes, it is good to be with the group again. Hi, Charlie C. Sage, Teresa, and I'm afraid not my favorite group, she says. Oh, thank you. Hello, Electra. Electra, all the way from Lockdown, DC. That is just, it's just so ridiculous. And he seemed so dejected when he announced that. I just kind of saw a little bit, didn't hear anything. But, and that word dejected comes to mind with him. I want to look at that a little more. Don't forget to show some love and hit the thumbs up. Hello, Carmen, Antoinette's granddaughter. Hi, Gabrielle. And a vegan Aries. Nice surprise. Hey, Connie B. Yes, Mercury is direct now, but we're still in shadow. So it's like Mercury is creeping along really slowly. It's going to take a while to get the momentum going. Yes, flushed is a good word. Apple. Hi, Apple. Pros of sorbet sounds delicious. And cartomancy and Rosemarie. Good to see all you guys. So, you know, I have to get this word dejected. Donald looked dejected. Let's just ask the pendulum. Oh, and yeah, and I have really dirty hands from yard work, so my apologies. Donald looked dejected today. Is he feeling dejected by any of this? Is he feeling dejected? What? Yes, he's feeling dejected with his plans? Oh my gosh. What? He calls in the guard. He calls in the military, blah, blah, blah. He is not confident about you guys. Okay. Shadow is bugging me. Okay, so anyway, he is not feeling confident. Say, I told you guys, my head is all over the place. Thank you so much for your great questions. Those are a lot of fun. Did you guys happen to watch today's? It was kind of funny. My first two questions, I couldn't help it. If you guys haven't listened to it, go listen to it because it's kind of funny. And I know that I see all you guys, your numbers show up with the lives. It's the videos that where I'm getting throttled, and there's just nothing you guys can do about it. Nobody can do it because somehow the algorithm only works on posted videos. It's really weird to watch it. So I am not worried about that. I am having fun with that with you guys. I would like to try to at least go live once a week. I would like to push twice a week, but we'll see. And speaking of questions, so if you have questions for me to answer, like the videos I've been doing, let's try something new. Please post that question in the comment section, okay? I see your questions, you guys, here and there, and it gets a little scattered. So let's this time post your questions in the comment section from this live, and then I will answer your questions. You guys have such great questions. And I want to follow up. I think it was Todd asked, when are we going to see you? And we had a little conversation about that. And I briefly saw a reply from him that he was picking up on the question, because obviously it was on my mind. It was. He absolutely picked up on that question, and then my need for privacy, blah blah blah. I addressed it in one of the videos, but I just thought you were right on with that, and thank you for opening that up to discussion, and thank you all for your love and support. Okie-doke. Anything else? Wait until you see what the upcoming Yad does a Donald's chart with everything else. You guys, he's so done. Oh, at least they're putting commercials in. Yep. Okay. So this is a friendly reminder from Sun Tzu. If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float by. Are we going to have to wait a really long time to be at that point, metaphorically, where the bodies of our enemies will float by? Are we going to have to wait a super long time until we metaphorically? No, we're not going to have to wait a super long time. Good. Okay, so I have notes here that I wanted to check it out with you. This full moon that we had last week, I was searching for the last time we had a full moon with Pluto in Aquarius, and I got those dates. I got the first new moon in Leo that we had with Pluto in Aquarius, because Pluto moved into Aquarius for good this year, and it is giving Donald fits. It is absolutely giving him fits, because it is okay. It's like the cards are calling me, this ring is calling me, everything's calling towards me. Okay. Oh boy, okay, chill. I have too much information coming to me at once. Okay. Is Pluto in Aquarius? You guys, it's Pluto in Aquarius is in Donald's natal chart of bad luck and bad health. Is Donald feeling the effects of this Pluto Aquarius in his house of bad luck and bad health? Gosh, even that question just feels so heavy. Heavy like how I felt today when I sat down tonight before going live. Is Donald feeling the effects of Pluto Aquarius? Yes. Oh, he feels so heavy. Yep, okay. Where is he having bad luck? Oh, trying to reinvent things like EPS. He's having bad luck here. I want to know what the worst things are that is just giving him fits. He just is having some bad luck with everything. What is he having the most bad luck with? This. Oh, he feels so annoyed with people. And what is he? Dejected. And it makes him feel so dejected. And his body's so heavy. Oh my gosh, look at that. The 10 of Wands. I told you. Heaviness, burdens. I'm sorry. You know what? I think I got to adjust this one. Sorry, you guys. Yep, we're all over the place. I am totally all over the place. Okay. So, the 10 of Wands. This is my yes card. Yes, feeling dejected, feeling the bad luck. It's heartbreaking. Oh, man. It's been lasting so long for him. It's like he just can't get out of it. And this is the biggest thing he feels like he's having bad luck, is sealing the deal with his leadership. Like his co-leadership. And Alaska just popped into my mind. So anyway, where is he feeling most the bad luck and dejected? Well, these are his secrets that he keeps. These are his secret deals. These are all the things that he's trying to cover up since day. I just got EPS. This whole thing with EPS is really throwing him. The 5 of Pentacles on its side. Usually, he can keep the truth away from people and, secret places with young people, but he is having a really hard time trying to conduct that. And the Knight of Swords. He feels like he's having bad luck. The Knight of Swords with the narrative crowning him. So dejected. Oh my gosh. This is, his back is hurting him, you guys. This is the 5 of Wands. This is a 5. This is really hard. This is trying to deal with middlemen people. When I said he's annoyed with people, these are all the people, middlemen, back channels that are supposed to be doing something, but they can't get their messaging right. JD just popped in my brain, and he just feels so heavy. Just trying to get an inkling, just a teeny tiny thing off the ground. Like he doesn't feel like he thinks he can make it all the way to the 10 of having this kind of government that he wants. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Alaska to Russia. How about that? I don't know if you guys remember, in 2019, I did a reading on, America and Canada. Our fighter jets had to chase off Russian jets several times. And at the time in that reading too, it was like there were already discussions of, ceding land to Russia, having agreements. And it was like that plan was in place to do that. And then at the time, Sen Huntsman was he was a senator, became the ambassador, and he quit in 2019. And the reading that I did on him then with Queen's Tarot, he was shocked by everything that he knew was going on and what he was seeing, and was like, just get me out of here. I think, he knew about the trafficking and stuff. And so today, and I don't know why there isn't more outrage about this Putz coming to the United States, and people are not clapping back about it. I haven't heard anything, seen anything. He should not be here at all, ever. So let's look at that really quickly. Okay. Is Putz really gonna be in Alaska on Friday for a meeting with Donald? Yep, he's really gonna be here. Is he expecting to have some land back from Alaska? Maybe some leases or titles to parts of Alaska? Is he expecting that? Yeah. And today when I was thinking about that again, and I was thinking of the state of Alaska, it's like half of it is already red. But that's interesting because red is the red flag country. What? Maybe, is that part of it? Is Putz there on behalf of him and the red flag country because they're expecting to have some sort of... This is for Putz and red flag country leader. Is Putz representing him and red flag leader? This will not go no. There is something there. Putz, red flag country leader. What they expect here. Leo, I will. Leo is a leader. How does Putz relates to this? That leader relates to this. You guys, this feels like it's been established for a while. And crowning them with this meeting. Oh my gosh, how about that? The Strength card came up with this Leo card. I've always said this card always reminds me of Russian strength, not because they're strong, but it's because the power that they exert on people, whether it's through disinformation or, the mob, but in having compromise on people. So this is Putz, Sagittarius. So this is lands far away. It can also be extremists. It's the law. I'm getting more lands far away. This is the red flag country leader, the solar eclipse revolution. Holy crap. He was solar eclipsed because a lot of his powers have been taken away. That was at the end of June. There was so much stuff that happened in June at the same time, and it's all related. And Don Julio is getting solar eclipsed. The matter at hand between them and Alaska. Oh, there you go. Cancer, I feel. This is, the United States is a Cancerian nation. So this is the United States. Oh, the Knight of Cups. Putz is bringing an offer. He's being supportive. He likes this. But he is only a knight. He should be a king. Red flag country leader. There's the Queen of Swords. The Queen is another nation. Swords, intelligence. He doesn't have the king either. What's crowning them both with this visit? There's the White House. That's their victories with the elections. And at the bottom, the Six of Cups, revisiting something from the past. Like I was saying, they have always assumed a part of this would happen for them. Jeez Louise. Okay. Oh, thank you, Joni, so much. How are you guys doing? Wow, that just came pretty fast and furious at me. Okay, let's see if I can. Lola, he is on fumes. He is. And you know what? And it's like, none of the GOP, the senators, are saying, have you guys heard anything? Because I have not heard anything. And I know I kind of tune a lot of stuff out, but it's like not even on a blip. Trump and Stick open the floodgates. Vance. I'm afraid not. Is Vance working to push Trump aside behind Trump's... Oh, yeah. He's salivating for that. He's like trying to seem supportive while hitting him on the back and pushing him out the door. JD wants Air Force One. Yeah, where is Sarah? Is Sarah Palin? Okay. Well, it just escaped me again. Okay, well that is that. Let us move on. 1797. Okay. So, this full moon that we just had, the last time we had a full moon in Aquarius with Pluto there was in 1797. And if you look at that, I mean, this full moon was at 17 degrees Leo Aquarius. This one is at 15 degrees Leo Aquarius. You have the 17 degree in between Mars and Mercury in this 9th house. And so I absolutely felt like the full moon we had last week was tag teaming this last full moon. And so some of the work that was done there, thank you. Oh, I forgot who posted that. But some things that happened in 1797 included the first peaceful transfer of power. The Continental Congress ended, the temporary leader government. And oh, the United States through which country was it? On June 21st, New Hampshire ratified the Constitution. They required 9 states. New Hampshire was the 9th state, and that was the only state. They only needed 9 states necessary to ratify the Constitution. So then we have a new moon in Leo at the time, and I thought this was really powerful. So this is the first new moon in Leo, 1797, and the next day, New York ratified the Constitution. I mean, what a powerful, powerful symbol in leadership. And let's see. Oh, and I thought this was interesting. In 1797, here we go back to Russia. A Russian explorer, Izmailov, Izmailov, arrives at Yakutat Bay, Alaska. So it feels like we're going back to that. Who's this dude? But Alaska was not part of the United States. Going to Alaska with the expectation Pluto transformation. What? Why do you want to transform? So this dude, look at Leo, I will again. I'm going to go to Alaska to second house owning. Oh my gosh. Right then, Pluto Aquarius, this guy goes to Alaska. So that's even 1797. And here we are revisiting this with Putz in red flag country leader, expecting something from them. It was interesting to me that the last time we had this full moon Leo, in 1798, America was in the midst of a recession. well, it was a recession of 1797. And what recession, these are the things that cause a recession. Credit expansion was initiated by the Bank of U.S. in the early 1790s. It led to low inflation and low interest rates. And then it spurs speculative investment bubble in real estate and capital-intensive manufacturing and infrastructure projects. And then there's an ensuing credit crunch from 1797 to 1798. The GDP is down, there's a real estate bubble, and there's a lot of personal bankruptcies. Does that just not sound like now? So those two things seem like they're kind of parallel to where we were then. But the first, wait, let me double check something. I thought it was interesting that this full moon Leo, 1797, right at the midpoint on the ascendant, Scorpio is giving life to this chart. It is ruled by Mars, which is in Leo. Its modern ruler is Pluto, which is down here. Oh, wait, that is at 20. Well, I must be wrong on this. I thought. Okay, anyway, it says Pluto at 29. No, that's the last full moon Aquarius. Sorry, you guys. When Pluto is still there, because that's at Pluto at 29 degrees Aquarius. But squeezing this on the ascendant, we have the asteroid Trump and the asteroid Rubicon. Crossing the Rubicon. Oh my gosh, does that seem so, what is the word I'm looking for? Jeez. Anyway. Okay. What is that full moon then with Trumper and crossing the Rubicon? Because the Rubicon, you guys, Saturn return. Here he comes back. Asteroid Rubicon in the United States natal chart is at like 21, 22 degrees Gemini. That is USA natal Mars, how she defends herself. It's in the 7th house, so that can also represent attacks and allies. And that's where Donald's sun is. So it's like we're crossing the Rubicon with this dude causing a lot of harm. So I'm looking at this last full moon. There's kind of a signature mark there as to what's going to come with this final full moon. Jupiter return benefits, the 6th. So the Jupiter return benefits, those are like money, favors, secrets that pile up here. And in the 1st house, it has to do with the 6th house routine. Also has to do with our military in terms of service. And I believe the we already had the U.S. Marine Corps. There's a lot of military development from the last Pluto Aquarius in the 1778 chart. So that was the last full moon. This was a first new moon Leo in 1778. And you can see so much tension here. We got the sun opposite Pluto. And then at the top of the chart, we have Saturn conjunct the midheaven. So it's like the work that they're trying to do. They've ratified their constitution. They're finishing up with their the temporary government. And the next 20 plus years, they have all this tension in which they're going to get their work done. They got their work done, but, now there's like a financial problem on the horizon. Is it this one? Scorpio is so prominent in both these charts. Scorpio has to do with politics. It has to do with the power, power that is maintained by a few. So if you want to look at the broligarchs, power by a few. I want to know from this new moon, full moon, then, new moon, full moon, then, what are we going to tag and how is it going to help us? Because this isn't our history, you guys. Our history has been that we overthrow a king. Air, communications. Yeah, communication, the press, printing, our Constitution. So then there's an abundance of ideas, an abundance of promise from the Constitution, all the work that they did that to get it ratified and established and be done with wars, even though, things were like percolating elsewhere. This is an abundance. This is wonderful goodness. This is luck. Wow, that is a huge reservoir to tap. This is available to us. And it's shown. Now I asked for how it's going to help us. We have this Gemini card, which is like, it has been like Donald and his back channels and other people helping him become president and maintain control. Is that it still? Oh, yes. And the good news is how we access this then to overcome him. So from our past, these things will help us overcome him. This just feels like I could line up all these cards in a direct line. And they have firm, full structure. There's like no opposition. It's like crickets. This just stands. Yes, air, it is a nightmare. It was difficult back in 1778 as well. A lot of anxieties. The Nine of Swords, yes, a nightmare. Back then, it had everything to do with defense. They were very much consumed with defense. So I'm going to say defensive abilities. Dealing with this guy, we can tap into his weakness, his dejection, his middlemen people stealing and walking away. So it's like getting the word out there about how much theft and fraud there's been and people just walking away in masses. Rooted in the ground, the Page of Pentacles, young people. No, these are all the bribes. These are the big balls dudes and like Rittenhouse, those people. It's the youth vote. I feel like all those people with that money, no, this goes back to more fraud and back-channeling stuff that goes to other governments. But it's like we find out everything that happened and how it really made us unsafe. Okay, because everything that was brought from overseas, over this bridge, over here, knocking down our good stuff and only leaving this still standing. How does this leave Donald then? Eight of Swords. I just felt like not having this, being blindfolded, not being able to see something and step out of it. This went like this, and I just felt like bubbles coming to the surface, almost like, oh gosh, like a spirit rising out of the bed, out of the bed, out of the dead. So this just felt like he's unraveled, he's done, and it's like a dead body, you guys. Is this him? Like it all comes out and it's like he's dead? Because it's like almost I could feel that spirit waft. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is. Well, alrighty then. I'm ready. How are you guys doing? Okay, did I? Hi, Gretchen. Yes, I'm afraid not. Yes, the 29 degrees for Pluto and Aquarius would be anaretic. And that's like finishing the job. Finishing the job, those 20-something years in the 1770 to 1790s, and transforming, creating the new government for the people, by the people. We got to revisit that. But yeah, those are like the final touches, and this is where it comes to an end. Okay, why? Yeah, Putz has astrologers, and he does dark arts. Yeah, all that stuff. But the thing is, the reason why he's got such a grip on the United States law is because his sun is conjunct USA Saturn, scales of justice, and that Saturn in our 10th house, it's intercepted. So Saturn can't go anywhere. It has to wait for something to come in, help it out, and then leave. It's like really being locked in there. Our Pluto return starting in 2022 helped relieve that pressure. And boy, howdy, did we see a lot with President Biden and all of them being able to get stuff done, be creative, think about our laws and how we, what is the word? And how we react and how we structure those rules. And Don Julio is trying to bring us back, and he can't. He can't. Okay. Yeah, Electra, I agree. So this year right now is the year of the snake. And that year has historically been very, very bad for the rusher. And, oh my gosh, having that volcano explode and the tsunami, the last time that volcano is at Kamchatka, and it's also where Russia keeps its U.S. nuclear Navy submarines. Like, we haven't heard anything about how that's panning out for them. Like, is it destroyed? But I was shocked when I kept hearing it erupted 500 years ago. Then someone said 800 years. But I always saw 500 years ago. And to me, that made me think of the last time we had a Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn that changed world power, structure, and government. It brought on the Renaissance. No. It brought on enlightenment. So that 500-year period that we can trace back, because that happened in 2020, and then it happened like 500 years ago. So it just, when that happened, I was like, whoa, here we go. We're back. And so that cannot be good news for the rusher when you're having stuff like that go off and happen. Right? Hi, Beverly. Gretchen. Oh, and for those of you joining us, I love doing your questions. If you write your questions in the comments so we can keep everything in one place, and I'll do a video and answer those questions. So, but Gretchen, you are asking if Don Julio has promised the sitting dems that they can keep their seats if they don't actively oppose him. Or is it blackmail? We'll just combine that into one. I feel like the Democrats are being so quiet because they know the playbook. They know how him trying to contain the narrative, him and his influence ops. It's just best that they just stay quiet because, and remember, it took President Biden a while to get his campaign going. And all these delays, in my humble opinion, are because they know that nothing will stick because of the aggressive influence ops. And plus, it'll take all the attention away from, Mr. Epps and all that stuff. And I'm sure they just want to give him more rope so that this can take over the news cycles. He's trying so desperately to get everything to stop. But in the Dems being quiet, it's like you can only see him and him flounder. But I will ask my ring, because I have seen that a lot from people. So, has Don Julio promised the sitting Dems they can keep their seats if they don't actively oppose him / he has blackmail? Has he promised the sitting Dems they can keep their seats if that is a no? He hasn't. That is just very interesting. Electra, the Dems are fighting back though. Yeah, look at all the governors. And I am loving the protests. And not only are we in a media blackout, we're being censored, suppressed. I did not know that LA was having these 24-hour protests for the past 2 weeks. None of the news is reporting on it. There is so much we are in the dark about. And no wonder the Globe is losing their mind, because I'm sure they're like, how can you tolerate this? Do you see this, and this? And it's like, well, really we can't. It's just like what Putz did to, people of Russia and all the crap news they have. They are kept with blinders on. And in my humble opinion, that's what's happening to us. That's the hardest part. But even Donald is flailing at it because he can't get us to stop talking about Epps. Jeffro, don't lose hope completely. So, are there guardrails left? Do we have guardrails left? Maybe they're not guardrails, but something like that. Oh, I just got a yes. I just got a very clear yes that there are guardrails, there are plans. There are guardrails, there are plans. What else? I just got a glimpse into that. Yes, there. Yeah. All I can say is yes, without a doubt. I'm just seeing people carrying it out, working it out, details and plans, and how we're going to be okay. But it's not like just one person is in charge. It's like a collective effort. That was just very interesting. My governor, Pritzker, asked Don Julio about the Epps files today. Oh my gosh, I love him. He is so funny. Okay. What else? The Lions, there's a Lionsgate standoff. I know this is super duper messy. Let's go back and talk about this, because I got a lot of stuff. It just all kind of blew my mind. Let's see if I can remember it. So, when you have the Sun and Pluto, standing off against one another. This is the 4th house. This is the 11th. So, I'm just going to put this like this. work. No, that's not going to work. I'm going to have to get a marker. I'm going to have to move my stuff. Oops. Okay. I'm making these as oppositions, okay? But it's not really a true opposition, so that's why I have this in parentheses here. But in this opposition, this full moon, well, actually with Lionsgate, this is what I'm talking about. Where was the moon? The moon was, right at the bottom here. The moon was in Capricorn then. Okay, this isn't even a chart, so I just wanted to point something out. We have the Sun-Pluto opposition. And the thing that I was getting so clearly about this is, Donald thinks he's going to be compelled to be very Pluto-esque with his opposition. Tear it apart, break them, destroy them, blah, 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 blah. His partners, his allies, empower them, do them favors. But at the same time, you have the opposition saying, destroy him. The opposition saying, where are our partners? Get them. Take them out, type of thing. And it's just interesting because this moon in Capricorn, the moon represents the people. Well, it's disposited by Saturn. Saturn rules Capricorn. And Saturn also rules Aquarius. So it's kind of like the moon is set up to help the people with the structure in that way. And what I noticed right away with this Lionsgate, because I have it down for August 6th, is just this opposition. And like all of a sudden it was like people were bringing down the hammer on him. Like even with the EU, with Macron, NATO publicly coming out with Zelensky and saying, no, there's going to be no ceding of anything. I listened to an interview with PM Carney in Canada, and it's like his plan. Everyone was coming and hitting back harder with more gusto and courage and finality than we have yet to see. But this guy, he's dejected. He's absolutely dejected. It would be better for him, I think, if this was a perfect opposition, but it's not. It's kind of loose. So it's like he can't really totally get a grasp on it. Okay? So let's look at this. So I want to see how we the people win. This is Don Julio. What do you think? This is how we're going to win. This feels like light and off the ground. And I need to write this down. What am I saying about this? How he attacks. How he's beaten. We are empowered. Whoops. Empowered. Victory. And I'm purposely not asking on how it could go badly. I just want to know about empowerment and victory. Oh, wow. Hello, Scorpio. I love you. Pluto is Scorpio's modern day ruler. Life and death. I just got big old word death. and transforming things. So this, I would not want to be alone over here. So this is the process by which what's going to happen. So you guys, I told you, he was solar eclipsed. In, I think, not the last video, the video before. So he's eclipsed. We the people empowered. Oh. We've got the 12th house escape. It's like we all have this unspoken secret. Yes. We all have this unspoken secret and this unspoken connection. Spirit is really, really strong here. It's like we get each other without having to say a word. Wow. So this is how he attacks. How he thinks he can attack. Oh boy, does this just feel like a broken sling. And I can't even point it to these people. Oh, he's getting other people to attack. Got it. This is how we are empowered. This is how he's beaten. How we have victory. Oh, the emperor. So says he. We see an emperor. We do not like him. So what a lazy bum. Can't even lob his own attacks. So this is how he attacks. This is like, right side up, this is like having a plan complete and consummation of that plan. But instead, he's got to retreat small in this secret 12th house area where he's going to have someone else do it for him. The Two of Swords. So this is just more divide and conquer. How can we divide and conquer? How can we blindfold them? How the moon's back here in the water. How can we provoke and outrage them? This is where their plan is. Yet again, there's a measly little 2. If you want to get this done, you should be at a 10. Midterms are next year. That's all he has, you guys. So we the people, what's unspoken, how we are empowered. 9 of Wands, we've got our defenses up together. It's like, I saw this card and it was like, I just see everyone holding a stick together solidly on the ground and just not giving an inch. Standing up. And then this is victory. 4 of Cups, the 9 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. Now, what in the world is this? 4 of Cups, 9 of Swords. Oh, I feel like this is like the 4 of Cups. It's like the offer. It's the call to help those who are in need, those who are being taken away and put somewhere else. It's that, not only the immigrants, but this is also elections, finding out about interference. But it's really also coming to the defense of these people, because even though ICE has a bigger budget, they just don't have the people. I mean, sure they have people, but like as a police officer was sharing, a police officer who was a former soldier, he's like, these people can't run, even though they're in their uniforms and they've got all their weapons, they're covering their faces. Like, they're not physically suited for the job. They could easily be outrun. And so he went off on about all of like the fitness things that you need to have if you're going to get people and detain them. And he's like, they don't have any of it. That's why they prefer going for the easy, sitting ducks. Okay? How are you guys doing? Hi, Kellys. I'm so glad that you're here. John, great. Hooray for guardrails and plans. Electra, tomorrow's the last day of Lionsgate. Oh, what's about Judge chucking, Steve. I think those sticks are really pitchforks and torches. Yeah, exactly. People have had enough. Okay. I know, Electra, I refuse to believe we're going to lose it as well. It's just, they think they've got this secret plan. They've been working on it since 2019, and that's just what they think. But like I said earlier, this full moon in Aquarius, with Pluto there, tagging back to 1778 and 1797, at this time, this full moon opened up to what we were doing then. And there was like I said earlier, there's a Russian who came to that bay and looked like he just wanted to take it, because with all the riches that it has. But that was, when was that? That was the... It was in June 11th, 1778. Oh, and at our last full moon in Aquarius, the last time there was a full moon in Aquarius with Pluto in Aquarius, so this is like the final thing. 1798, there was political turmoil. So, I'm sorry. The last full moon was in 1797. But it's like things take time to shake out, so I'm looking at 1798. Political turmoil, quasi-war with France. Oh, and the controversial, listen to this, Alien and Sedition Acts was passed. We established the U.S. Marine Corps. Eli Whitney contracts with the U.S. government to produce 10,000 rifles. We have expansion. And people were upset about the Alien Sedition Acts in January 1798. Nope, I'm sorry. I'm reading this wrong. So the Alien Sedition Acts become law July 14th, 1798. It makes it a federal crime to write, publish, or utter false or malicious statements about the U.S. government. So I'm like, I need a chart for that. Okay, where is it? Because it's like, what is going on with that, and why can he abuse it so easily? And I got an answer for that. Okay. I'm going to show this to you, and then we'll take a break. Yeah, Electra, people are no longer buying his lies. We've been there, done that. Oh, and like I said, how we are tagging back to these full moons from the late 1700s. The other thing that we have here going for us is Jupiter and Cancer, our roots, where we came from, and miracles and healing and windfall gifts for us as a nation and we the people. That's Jupiter and Cancer. So that's just like the other, oh my goodness, thank goodness it is in Cancer this year to help us out. So I just made a 12 p.m. time for this, and I believe at that time our capital was still in Philadelphia. So at 12 p.m., gosh, this is like, he kind of has that attitude like he can do whatever he wants with this act, like it belongs to him, like so many other things. And that's because the sun on that day, 22 Cancer. Well, his Saturn obstacles, everything he opposes and blocks, is at 23 Cancer. So it's like it has the warmth of the sun, of a leader, a guy that thinks he's a leader, because that's the sun. And he's got Saturn right there, which it's like, I can do whatever I want. I'm standing right here, and I'm protected. This cannot pierce me. That's how strong his Saturn is. And then, though, The moon that day, Leo, 6 degrees. This is at 12 p.m. This is USA North Node. You know, her destiny and where she's going. So it's no surprise that we're back to this. And this is why Donald thinks he control it. Oh, geez. And the solar eclipse is at 25 degrees Taurus, and that is his midheaven, top of his chart, his highest point in his chart. So it's kind of like he feels destined to own this and be able to use it. Is there anything else here? Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. So anyway, so that is why he thinks he can. Okay, so we are going to take a 3-minute break. I am going to grab my this. Okay, clear my brain. Again, you guys, questions for the next video. I want to answer your questions. Put your questions in the comments section of this video, okay? Jeez. Is happening. Somehow. Okay. I knew there was something else that was really good news. This is what got me excited. If you want to think about cosmic guardrails that have to do with our cosmic history as a nation, this is really, really good. You're going to like this. So, this 1778, we had the first new moon in Leo. Oh, gross. New moon in Leo with Pluto and Aquarius for the United States of America. And you guys know I kind of like to look at other things than basically the planets. And this is what I'm looking at. This is incredible. We'll ignore Dark Moon Lilith, okay? Because I just don't like Dark Moon Lilith. But the thing is, here, the lunar eclipse point there, what was revealed, was at 19 Sagittarius. December 2020, I mean, 2020 was very active for many reasons. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction, we had 6 eclipses. Usually we have 4. We had the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction 3 times. There's another thing that happened. And we finished with the great conjunction in December, Saturn-Jupiter, in Aquarius, which was ushering in a new 200-year dynasty. And we had that, the pandemic on top of it. So the amount of things we went through in 2020 is mind-blowing. At the time, it was very clear when I was doing these lives that we were meant to be here. Like, the physical body just could not endure these kind of transits. And then 2 years later, we start our Pluto return, and we're all feeling that Pluto fallout of destruction and reconstruction and recreation, okay? But this was the lunar eclipse. This was the reveal. Back in December 2020, we had a new moon solar eclipse at 19 Sagittarius. I used to call that one releasing a solar figure, because then in 2020, the South Node was conjunct this solar eclipse. And I've always said this is what booted Don Julio out of office. And, and then what happened afterwards, Netanyahu was out of office, Queen Elizabeth passed away. There were a lot of changes with solar leaders of nations, people who are in charge, like even of corporations. But that's like where it started. And then 1778. So this is a solar eclipse for us. That was a lunar. The other thing that happened, we have 27 degrees Sagittarius. Now that's the solar eclipse. The North Node, where you're going. The North Node isn't there, but this is where you're headed, because it's a new moon solar eclipse. Here, we had a lunar eclipse conjunct USA galactic center. This is also the point of the return of the divine feminine I think that was in 2019, November 2019. Okay, so the galactic center of the universe for the United States, this is the point. That is the birthplace of the sun. It's like a massive black hole in the center of our galaxy. Supposedly that's where the sun was born. It's like, was it like 200 times bigger than our sun? And so this is a really powerful point in the cosmos. And that is like what gave life to a nation's leader, or the vision of America. And then you have this thing that kicked him out. So this also is in our cosmic DNA, because this we revisited in 2020. And we got rid of a lot of that crap. now we're dealing with stuff again because now our Pluto return started in 2022 and finalized. Did it finally go into Aquarius for good this year or last year? I can't remember. This has been a process, a Pluto return. Pluto comes back to the place when USA was born as a nation. So it's like literally the nation giving birth to itself again. It's like we're babies, we're toddlers. It's like we have to restructure, regrow everything. And that's why it feels like we're so little and so small compared to what's going on. Well, also, it's in our history to overcome a king, extricate ourselves from the king. I want to say something about this. I can't remember. Anyway, we just hit our Pluto return a couple years ago, so the effect, the power of Pluto and Aquarius is that much more powerful for we the people, because we were only that 2 years old when Pluto went into Aquarius last time. Now we're like in our second year of our Pluto return. We will remember this growth. It's like we can't go totally sideways from this. If we go totally sideways, it's like everything is gone. We're not going to be gone. It's just there's going to have to be a lot of work to redefine and regrow ourselves. But the silver lining with Don Julio is that we've got a really clear list of where we need to have our guardrails, what we have to have set in stone to never ever do this again. 2020 absolutely sucked, but I'm telling you guys, if he won, let's say 2022 to 2020, if he was in office when we had our Pluto return starting 2022, it would, I think, be much more devastating for our country. But it's like we had to change our United States government, restructure ourselves. It was a reorganization of world power too. We did all that ahead of our Pluto return, but entered our Pluto return, thankfully under President Biden, but very vulnerable. And just like last time, we were vulnerable because a king was rounding people up, sending them, he was sending them to the colonies without due process as their punishment to be in prison. Everything that guy was doing then, Don Julio thinks he's the king and he's going to do it again. But no, he is so dejected, you guys. He just has no power. He's got Pluto in his 6th house of bad luck, bad health. Yeah, it's not going well for him. Okay, how are you guys doing? Right. Where in the H are all the Republicans that could do something about this? Crickets. Okay, let's talk about those crickets, because that is something that I often come back to. And like I said, last week I wasn't able to go live, so I was looking at a boatload of stuff. And I was shocked. At how afraid Don Julio is of being removed from office and getting stabbed in the back by the Republican. He is terrified, you guys. I could not believe how much that came up. And I absolutely got that our military will do the right thing. I haven't been able to find this since last week. There was a blurb about, now I want to say this probably happened around the 4th or the 5th, that our military generals did not follow through with Don Julio's ask that they go to Democratic blue states and have the military occupying them to control those states. And they said, no, we won't do this. That was huge. Now, I don't know if that is for certain. It seemed to come from a reliable source, but I can't even remember that now. Oh, I also did what is keeping Don Julio in office. I could not believe how much of it comes back to Xi and Bibi. It's like foreign influence is what's keeping him in office. Because Bibi, Israel, they do not want a two-state solution. That's why Carter got booted. And because President Biden was talking about a two-state solution, even more foreign interference was needed to secure that election. And Bibi is the back door with the tech bros, with Filoni, with all of them. Okay? And I was surprised at how much he's afraid of the Jack Smith investigation, that some of these things, these antics that they're trying to pull, is actually to try to get more information. Because they have a huge blind spot, and it has to do with Jack Smith. What else stood out here? Oh my gosh. And if you guys recall, last April we found out about NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board. That agency had all their data exfiltrated. Big Balls was kind of in charge of that through Doge. That is still very active. That has got them in a big, huge problem. Oh, and then I was very surprised that MTG, remember she had posted something of how she's done with the GOP, that the GOP left her. I was getting this, okay, here. Okay, Ring, where are you? I was getting the sense, I don't know who she would be cooperating with, but I feel like she got caught in something and she's like turning on MAGA and Don Julio. So, and she got caught because of something related, the red flag country. Okay, so did MTG get caught in something with the government, and that's why she's saying I'm done with the GOP or MAGA? Did she get caught? Did she get caught up in something? Oh my gosh, my hands are so jiggly. They are laughing tickly. Yeah, she got caught up in something. Here. Did that cause MTG to flip on MAGA and Donald? Because if you notice, no one's saying a word about it. No one is saying a word about it. So did she flip against him? Yep. Was MTG given a deal? Was she given a deal if she flipped on him? Oh, my hands are so twitchy. Yeah, she knows something. She knows something. Wow. Let's look at this. What does MTG know? She got caught. And what did she give up on Donald and everyone else to save her arse? Did she give up? She feels free and clear of whatever. So she got caught with something. What did she get caught with? What did she get caught? Like, oops, I got caught with this. And so I'm going to cooperate. Where's this one? And I'm going to do this to them. And she gave up this. Undeniable. And this is how she kneecaps them. Oh my gosh. So this card in this deck, I use this. This is what the extra added artwork. So this person is sleeping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 figures. It's the same one. So it could be like influence ops. It could be targeting people. But I get more like influence ops from a foreign origin. Having some discussions with them, how to carry that out. The 9 of Cups, how to benefit Trump or Trump. And the money she got paid, the Ace of Pentacles, the money operation it is. So, oh gosh, this Leo, I will drink. I mean, how many times has this card showed up tonight related to the Russia? Yeah. So she gets caught with messaging, intercepts. I mean, there are intercepts around the world on these guys, but it's a plan. It's hard evidence. She is caught with another nation, Queen of Wands. She did something with another nation. 4 of Wands reversed to get Donald to there, but she's turned on them. So if it's a foreign nation, it's okay. Did MTG get officially caught up in what we would consider treason? They had evidence of treason against the United States of America. Yep. Undeniable evidence. So she's caught with treason. And she's like, the MAGA left me, I'm leaving them. So this is what she's going to lob over at them. The sun, the revelation about Donald. And this is what she gave up on them. The North Node, the plan going forward, whatever they were doing with this other nation. And she turned that plan on its head. So these people are getting caught with 4 of Pentacles. This is rock hard, solid evidence. It does not budge. No, oh gosh. Oh my gosh, my battery's dying. Okay. The foundation of this, the 9 of Swords. The people at the top who were carrying all this crap out. So she did. Shocking. Okay, you guys, I'm going to get going because I do not know how much battery I have left, but thank you so much for coming out tonight. Be sure to post your questions for my next video in the comment section of this one. And go watch that the last vid I did. Even if you just see the first question, because it's pretty funny. So we'll talk to you later. Okay? Thanks, you guys. Oh. Calicy, did she plant the pipe bombs on January 6th? Write that in the comments, okay? Okay, good night, Cynthia. Good night, Teresa. Thank you very much. Thank you, Paisley. Thank you, Electra. Thank you, Shelby. And Pros. Great discussion. Yeah, I loved it with you guys. Thank you, Connie. You guys have a good night. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye.